I'm not talented. It's the first thing that I decide to open this little stream with. I am not talented. No one is talented. Talented, or talent, is but the machinations by which people use in order to achieve the ability to build their skill. You do not need to rely on talent to build your skill. In fact, it's a very dangerous thing to convince yourself that in order to build your skill in any avenue, anything at all, you require talent. It's very dangerous and a very silly thing to do to expect that any endeavor in any artistic merit or field requires talent in order to pursue. Because no one is talented. There are a great many people who are skilled, but no one is talented in the typical sense of the word. So, you gotta stop thinking like that. Stop thinking that you are not talented. Think that you are unskilled. You can build on skill. You can't build talent. Or you should think that instead of saying talent, you should say skill. And then you can work on that, and then you just keep building that. That's just like, it's the same thing as, you know, lifting a weight or something. You keep doing it, and then you'll be able to lift heavier weights. It's the same thing with art. You keep doing it, and you'll be able to do better and better. That's all that is. Anyway, hello. The reason why my stream is today instead of tomorrow, like I'd originally planned it, is because something came up for me tomorrow that I was originally doing, or like it had come up, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna do that. And then I moved the stream over, and the reason why also my chat's still broken. One sec. Foreshadowing. And then the reason why the reason why it's at 12 o'clock my time instead of 10 o'clock my time is because something else came up today where I was like, okay, so I have to shift it forward in order to do it. And now I can stream tomorrow again because I ended up having to cancel all of those things because I got COVID. Fuck. Yeah. I took a rat, and it came out instantly positive because I was like, oh, this is just a sore throat. I'll be fine. Yeah, and it came out instantly positive like 3 days ago, and I'm like, well, fuck, now I have a lot of time and not a lot of energy. So, yeah. Yeah, I am fine. This is definitely the downswing of the virus. Because, yeah, I mean, yesterday was starting to not be rough. 2 days ago was pretty rough, and the day before that was also pretty rough. A lot of coughing, a lot of spluttering, and it was really strange because I couldn't exactly get to sleep as easily as I wanted to, and so I was laying in bed going, but I actually felt my fever come in, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Well, it was quite warm, but it was so cool, because it was like, you don't really like feel that. You're either asleep and then you get a fever, and then you wake up and you're like, or like you slowly like build the fever over the time. You don't really notice it, but it's really cold in Australia at the moment. Oh, I say really cold. It's like, it's what is it, 16 degrees outside maybe? How cold, temperature. Brisbane. So it's 19 degrees, which is 66 Fahrenheit. And you crazy people want to set your offices to 60, which is like 16 degrees in sensible land. And that's freezing. It is so cold for me right now. But yeah, it had the effect of me laying in bed with my top sheet on me, going like, I can't get to sleep. And then I just felt like everything get, you know, you're in your bed and you're insulated and everything, and then everything got really cold all of a sudden. And I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. It was a very interesting sort of feeling to have. And I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. But yeah, no, I'm doing okay at the moment. I'm definitely back in the upswing of recovery, the downswing of the virus. And I'm also triple vaccinated as well, so that means that I didn't get to go to hospital. Damn. And I didn't die as well, which is a shame. Hey. I shouldn't be making jokes and I shouldn't be laughing because it's just a lot of coughing at the moment. Nothing's coming up anymore, which is good news, and also a gross detail that I didn't have to share, but there you go. But, yeah. there was quite a lot of things coming up from my throat when I was in the worst of it. But yes, I am getting better, so I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, so it's just coughing now. And even now, my coughing now is also not that bad because it's just like, I don't know, coughing in the throat as opposed to coughing in the chest, if that makes any sense, if that makes a bit of a difference. But yeah, hello, Nosfire, how's it going? Hang on, I'm shitposting with my brother at the moment. Is there a caveman emoji? Damn it. Is there a caveman emoji? There's got to be like a caveman emoji. Or at least somewhere has like a caveman in it. Here we go. And that's fine. Yes. So hot days for you, obviously, because you're on the other side of the planet in the weird part of the world, where it's hot when it's supposed to be cold, and it's cold when it's supposed to be hot, and you use weird numbers to express your temperatures. So prepare for a lot of coughing in this stream, by the way. It's not going to be bad coughing, it's just going to be a lot. So yes, it's hot when it's supposed to be cold. I'm going to get rid of this fence, because I'm going to go with Cadet's suggestion and have them actually sitting on a picnic thing in a glade. I can do that. Picnic. I've got a picnic table. No, they don't have a table. They're just a blanket. So I'm going to have to wait for all my models to load in. Oh, 103 degrees. Oh, man, that's the dream. Ah, I love temperatures like that. That's where I like. So, pretty much everyone else in my family were very thick set, I should say. And so they were able to tolerate much lower temperatures than me. I was always pretty scrawny as a kid. And I also have an internal body temperature that is equivalent to, is equivalent to the far outreaches sides of, like the cold side of the moon, or just like space, deep space in general. Like in a shadow, so a space's shadow. Like, you got a planet in front of you, the temperature that's behind an astral body, that is the temperature that I have in my body. Um, how did we describe it? Like, and my brother has an internal body temperature that rivals the surface of the sun. So when it's hot just around, he gets like, he's sweltering. He's not having a good time. But when it's hot around, and I'm like, yes, this is good. But when it's cold, he's fine, and I'm like, I'm freezing. Okay, I'm absolutely freezing. Majority of my family was like my brother, where they, had warm body temperatures and they had a lot of insulation, which is a very kind way of saying the other thing. They had a lot of insulation, and so they always kept the aircon really low. And here's me freezing, and they're going, "I'll just put some more layers of clothes on." And I'm like, "Why don't you take it?" Actually, I will do that. Yeah, I'm freezing indoors because I just feel the cold so much. And yeah, that was the entirety of my youth. But as soon as it was like 30 degrees outside, and I walked outside from my house into the summer heat, all of my muscles that I didn't know were tensing just instantly relaxed. Like, all of them relaxed all at once. And I was like, oh, this is the best. Oh. Like, just walking outside when it's hot outside and cold inside just relaxes all of my muscles. And I'm like, oh, it's like a warm hug at every point in your body. It's the best. So that's my take to warm temperatures. But the funny part about that story is that both my mother and my oldest sister got a surgery, which was the barometric gastrial sleeve, something like that. I don't know. But basically, it's the one where they shrink the size of your stomach so you lose weight. That's basically what it is. So they lost a whole bunch of weight. And now my mum feels the cold. So now she's like, oh man, it's so cold in here. I gotta put on the heater. I'm like, now you know how I feel. God damn it. Wearing shorts and it's snowing outside, I'd probably have my legs fall off. Just instant, just frostbite. Alright, one sec. I'm just gonna open up the... Yep. It is sunshiny outside, but I can't open my windows, lest the plague escapes. I might be able to open my windows in a bit. Not today, though. I have to keep isolating until the 15th is the minimum day of my isolation. And then I've got work on the 16th. And then I'll have 4 days off, and then I can go outside and just do things outside. Just walk around, essentially. Like, I can last 14 days inside. I can do that because I was doing that for, like, the majority of my youth. But it is definitely difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's really difficult. I used to be able to, I can last 14 days inside when I was able to stay playing video games for 12 hours and then realize, oh, it's dark outside, I go to bed. Like, I used to be able to do that. But now I have a sore back, and sitting on this thing for 14 hours is like, ah! And then I have to lie down, I have to get back up, and then I have to eat, and then Oh yes, hello Toad14 as well. I have COVID, so make sure you're wearing your mask, because... No, wait, hang on. Make sure none of the COVID escapes into the live stream. Nah, it's boring. It's boring. I did that bit already. But I'm in my room now instead of out in the back room in the house where other people are. So, yes. Yeah, that's at the start of the stream I was telling everyone about why everyone was just Nossa. Me and Nossa having a conversation. About why it's today at 12 instead of tomorrow at 10. Because of the fact that I had something come up tomorrow, and then I shifted it to today at 10, and then I had something come up today at 10, so I shifted it to today at 12, and then I got COVID, and everything got cancelled, so I was just like, fuck. Oh no. I think I already noticed this before. Oh, it's meant to do that. All right, cool. Sorry, I looked over at my my laptop, my gaming laptop, my U-Butte RGB gaming laptop, the C tier of purchases, and I noticed that there was like, it looked as though someone tried to shove a pen through the heat vents, but it's the same on the other side. So I was like, oh, okay, so it's meant to do that. It's meant to be like that. It's fine. Anyway, yes. Yeah, so I love... But the thing that I found really interesting about my take to temperature was that I was perfectly fine in America when it was, like, 0 outside. I had, like, my thermals, admittedly, I was wearing thermals. Thermals, shirt, light jacket, and that's pretty much all I needed when it was, like 3 to -2 degrees Celsius outside. That sort of temperature. I was like fine with that. And you know, I'd be like, wow, why have you put the aircon to like 20 degrees? That's 20 degrees Celsius. That's so hot. Jeez. Like, turn it down, please. Just turn it off. It's fine. So I think it's actually like I'm really able to adapt to the temperature outside. But my body adapts to the temperature outside. So if the inside temperature is too hot or cold, then I'm like, I hate this. Just get used to it, you know? But yeah, don't try to change the temperature, just get used to it. Okay, so I don't have any picnic blankets, but let's see if I have a blanket. Oh, maybe it's under rug. Oh yes, also prepare for a lot of coughing as well. Like I was saying before, I do have COVID, so just be mindful of that. I don't think I actually have a picnic blanket. How about that? I might have to look it up. Ew. Well, I've got a model that can turn into a picnic blanket, maybe. You. So like I'm still congested, but there's nothing in the actual nasal passages. It's all just up in the sinuses. So I can take a full breath with my nose, and that's fine. But you can sort of probably hear it on the back of my voice. There's a little bit of... And that's because of the congestion. And I can't, like... Do you guys have the diving reflex where you can... Not the eyes closing reflex, but, like, there's a certain thing you can do. Like, when you swallow, you hear the clicking in your ears. That's repressurizing your eardrums and shit like that. I think that's what it's meant to do. But I can't do that as effectively with my right ear anytime I'm congested. And so if I don't feel congested in my nose, or if I can't hear the congestion in my voice, but I can't repressurize my right ear, it means I'm still sick. So I'm still sick at the moment, which is not good to be able to have to go out and do stuff, which is what I really want to do, but I can't because I'm sick. God damn it. And not only am I sick, I am mega sick. Like, this is scary sick. No, it's not really scary sick. It's just, I'm not allowed to be outside because the government. All right. Blanket. No. All right, so I'm going to need to find love. All right. I also don't have any picnic baskets. Oh, well, technically I do. Well, okay, have a look at this basket. It's very blurry, as you can see now. It's a cutlery basket. Oh, it's adorable! What? It's so small! What? Yeah, I guess it is a cutlery basket. I thought it was like a wine basket or something. It's so small. Alright. I will resize it if I can't find an actual picnic basket. That one doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that good, but I might use that one. Ooh! Looks too dark and depressing. Let's see about it. Also, I'm looking at laundry baskets, which is funny because they all look like picnic baskets to me. Okay, so I got two laundry baskets that I can look at. One is this one. Beep. And the other one, I know you can't see the models, by the way. That's a deliberate choice. Because I have no control over what appears on it. And I don't want you to find the copious amounts of porn that I have on the servers. Alright, so I've got two I got two baskets here. These are technically laundry baskets. I really do like that one. So let me entertain you. Yeah, I really much appreciate the color of this basket. But I feel as though this would be too awkward for ponies to carry. Or maybe... Well, no, not really. Salutations. Salutations. Not really, actually. Hang on. Let's see. If I could find... Do they... They use wooden baskets for their apples, don't they? Apple Harvest MLP. Apple Harvest MLP. Images. They do use wooden barrels or wooden baskets. So I might just be able to yeah, nah, they do use bloody wooden bloody barrels to collect them apples. So I reckon I might just barrel. No. See if I have that model. I'm looking at barrels now. You would figure that. But then the next question is, how do they get into the baskets and all that sort of stuff that straps onto their back? Specifically, the reason why I was looking at a thing like that is because they can easily bite it and hold it that way. And the reason why I want it to be not as tall as this is that they can bite that and then put it on their back to move it. And we all know how... I'm pretty sure there's some kind of theory of magnetism that these ponies have, because they can hold things in their hoof. A fucking, you know, they can hang like that. Doesn't work. But it does in the pony world. And they also are able to like bounce and bob a basket on their back without it tipping or falling off. So there must be some kind of magnetism or some shit like that. So the tricky part that you need to be able to like solve, if you can have, if you're able to suspend the ability to magnetize something onto either your hoof or your back, you must be able to somehow get it there. And using a hoof to like put it onto your back might be difficult, so they may have put handles on them to like pick it up with their mouth to then put it on their back. So that means that the basket itself can't be too tall, because that would be too unwieldy to get to their back. So it has to be flatter. So I like this one, but with the color of this one, which I might actually be able to do. If the models are in the right place, I might just be able to put this texture on that one. That could be a solution. Predator eyes and pack bonded with hunters. Why do the ponies have predator eyes and pack bonded with hunters? What do you mean?
Explain.
But the other thing is that the way that they would get into things like saddlebags or something that has like two bags and a strap in between it is that they'll have a strap which has a more solid construction to it. So it's either made of a thick plant matter, can't be leather because that's That'd be weird. Or it could be leather. Who knows? Like they could probably be into that. Like it's a useful thing, even if they're not fucking eating the actual sentient and intelligent animals that they have in their barns, chained up to make milk. What the fuck? That's so weird. Anyway. So if they're not making their straps out of leather, hard leather to make it more solid, then they'll have like either a woven material or something like a thread or something, or a rope, for instance, but it's specifically a more solid structure, so that they can like nose. It could be sitting slightly up, so they can nose underneath it and have it go over their head onto their back to be able to stand up. So YouTube is high at the moment. Currently, it says there's only 2 viewers, and I'm like, what's going on? Okay, so forward-facing eyes are often indicative of hunters, dogs and humans. Horses and ponies have eyes on the sides of the head to look for predators. This also means horses and ponies cannot look directly in front of them. Okay, so I think that's the whole reason why ponies may have become the dominant species on the land of Equestria, is because of the fact that they had developed frontwards-facing eyes, which allowed them to see more and focus the things in front of them. So, this must also mean, whilst frontward-facing eyes may be more indicative of a predator species, you also find, animals like falcons and eagles. They have outwards-facing eyes, and they're still predators. So frontwards-facing eyes is not necessarily typical of a hunting animal. It's just more the evolution of their current environment. So, if ponies figured out a way to no longer need their eyes to be able to see, or if they evolved their eyes such to the point where they were forward-facing, able to focus more in front of them, which allowed them to create these things which made them no longer on the predators list, or the prey list, or whatever, say something like, oh, I don't know, magic or the ability of flight or something like that. I don't know, something that happens like that. Or farming, for instance. So they no longer have to graze in areas. They can set something up to defend something that they can make, which can then feed them. So farming, they're making a fence. There's no animals able to get into them to prey on them, predate on them. Or they just, joined forces with those, the magic wielding or flying ones to be able to fend off any predators that would then prey on the farmers. Something that could happen like that. Which would allow them to have more frontwards facing eyes, which would then allow them to, have more frontwards facing eyes, essentially. Which would allow them to focus more in detail of the things in front of them, so that they can do things like writing and all that sort of stuff to expedite the process of evolution in a more societal sense. Also, I just noticed I don't have any music going, so VLC, let's go ahead and open up that bitch. Yes, fair warning to anyone that's joining, I do have the spicy cough. I'm at the end of the spicy cough. But definitely be aware that there's going to be a lot of coughing that's going to be happening. So just be aware of that is all I am saying. Oh, yes. I'm definitely in the very far upswing of the spicy cough, though, so don't be too concerned. But yes, there's still a lot of coughing to be expected. Source filmmaker stuff, renders. No, not renders. Fuck, I'm looking for Sony Vegas stuff. I'm looking for music. I'm looking at CRT Head, and I'm just gonna, because CRT Head is very loud. I apologize. But yes, that's what CRT Head is. I turned it down for you before I could turn it down for myself. That's why it went quiet and I didn't say anything for a while. Apologies about that, by the way. The other thing that you have to remember about ponies as well is that they don't have canines, or they don't have fangs. They all have flat teeth, so then they are not biologically suited for eating things like meat. They're more suited for eating things like vegetation and things like that, things that are easy to crush. So therefore, whilst they're not necessarily omnivorous, they're still... Oh, what am I doing? Yeah. Whilst they're not necessarily omnivorous, they're still able to have a, like a more... What's that called? They're not... Whilst they're not hunters, they're still able to have forward-facing eyes. And also not... They're able to have forward-facing eyes and not be hunters and not be omnivorous. So they can still be herbivorous. One of the big reasons as well as that contributed to the evolution of humanity specifically as well. Going to the real world again. That's gross, why would anyone want to do that? But one of the things that actually, the biggest thing that contributed to the development of our brains was actually the ability to cook. Genuinely, actually, physically, the thing that actually, the thing that heavily contributed to our ability to think of things is cooking. Because of the fact that cooking allows anything that we... Cooking allows anything that we are wanting to... cooking specifically sterilizes anything that we are eating, and so we don't have to spend as many calories disinfecting it in our stomachs, which is the reason why humans can't eat raw meat, because there's a lot of pathogens and parasites and bacteria inside raw meat that we ended up devolving the ability to eat raw meat, so we weren't able to do it anymore because we grew up cooking it, because we evolved cooking it. So we got rid of all those pathogens so we could use more of the calories for our own development stuff. This also applies to things like fruit and everything that could have, you know, bacteria and terrible things inside them, which is why the evolution of cooking in the pony world would also allow them to potentially evolve as they had. But then you also have to consider the fact that, you know, Griffins exist, and, you know, dragons exist, and they're all sentient. Well, okay, the other thing that is important to realize as well is that, you know, the ponies and things, oh, well, it's the other thing as well, yeah, they're able to communicate interspecially. So ponies can talk to griffins, who can talk to dragons, who can talk to pretty much anything that has sentience in the pony world, which could just be the fact that there's a lot of magic in the environment. So that could also be the other thing. The magic excuse, you know. Oh, that's the other thing. It's magic. It's magic. But, you know, having evolved an ability to use the latent energy that is surrounding the planet, and now, here we go, it could also, okay, there's a latent energy that's surrounding the planet which the creatures evolved to be able to use to increase their ability to use more calories to develop their minds. This energy could potentially be an intense electromagnetic field that's around the planet, which could also explain the pony's ability to grip things using magnetism. I say these in massive quotes because I don't actually know anything about that. It could all just be bullshit and everything. It's just speculation, and this is also discussion about a fictional universe that doesn't exist, but it could be a way to logically explain it. The latent magnetic field could attribute to the latent magic in the characters, if that makes sense. But yes. Wow! Undo. Alright. Okay. Hello! Robloxian Railfan, that's the one. I was about to say Robloxian Raffian, and I was like, no, that would be wrong. So I've got full barrels, but I don't have, like, half barrels that the ponies use. No, I should. I should. I'm pretty sure I've used it before somewhere. Bucket. Let's try bucket. Oh, there's a paint bucket. Apologies. gross. Nah, all of that's gross. That's okay. So, what I'm going to do instead is see if I can apply this. I'm just going to get rid of this basket here because it's gross. I'm going to see if I can apply this basket's texture to this basket here. So let's give it a look. So basket cutlery, flex snake. Oh, I'm going to right click, add override materials. Right click, add override materials. If this is going to be a fun transfer, if I show an element of your model materials B1 wood. Oh, there could be no. How do I change? Oh, that's the wood. Okay. So, I can then go into show element of your model materials basket, add attribute, string, $, base text. Cool. And then B. Oh! Well, it's so it's not automatic. I have to give it to you. So, boy. So yeah. So you just have to go into the roles server, and then I have to give you the notification. So I have to do it. So you just have to ask for it. Notifications for animations, and there are no artist roles specifically in my server. It's just mainly for stuff. That's not good. All right, cool. And in order to check the roles, you just have to scroll up and have a look at the roles available. Which I will say in the thing. Just 1 second. At Nose Fire, you can indeed, except there's no artist role. Exactly. Scroll up to see the roles available in my server. The roles in my server. See all the rows in my server. Cool. And then I'm going to rows, collaborators, and animation. Very good. Otherwise, welcome aboard. My chair is squeaky. But yes, and that's one of the other reasons is because hang on, delete, cool. A normal role, you can have a look at all the roles that are in the server. You can look at it. And you just have to pick one of the notification roles, and then I'll give you the collaborator role as well, which will enable you to access the rest of the server. That's all that is. So you can either have all notifications, where I'll match this with any other notifications that I give, so you'll always get notified with it. You can get animations notification, which means that you'll only get notified if I release a full animation onto the YouTube channel, onto Discord, or if I release an animation elsewhere as well, it'll be here on the Discord. Notifications SFM is anything related to SFM that isn't a full animation, so things like tutorials, if I ever do them, posters, tips, tricks, all that sort of shit. That's what SFM is for. Notifications SFM. Notification stream is for when I'm doing streams. You'll get notified in my Discord server, and then you'll, which by the way, I should probably announce that I'm doing a stream right now. Notifications all. Notifications streams. I am live right now. Alright. So I'm going to delete that one. I am live right now. And then, yeah, so that's what the streams are for. I will always pair it with notifications all, so if you have the all rule, you'll also get that. Notifications games is when I'm doing anything related to video games, which I don't think I'm going to be doing much of, but yeah, if I post a gameplay video, or if I post a game-based video, so like a discussion or something that I am interested in doing, video essays and things like that, or a video game stream, I'd use notification games. And the last one is notification conventions, which, good luck with that, pal. And then the last one is none, where if you don't want any notifications whatsoever, I won't ever notify the notifications none role. So there you go. And the fun part is as well is that the one that you chose and the one I give you, you can also mix and match the like the animations, SFM streams, games, and conventions. You can have more than one, but if you have all of them, I'm going to get rid of all of them and just give you the all one, because that's what it is. But the fun part is that I've set it up specifically so that each notification role, each role that you have will have a golden line on it, so you can see which one's selected. Yes, you do tell me the role. You just post it in the roles server. You gotta read the instructions, man. They're right there. Or at least I'm pretty sure I have. Rules? Yeah, request the role below. Yeah. Yeah, you have to request a role. That's what I said. And I also leave the last two requests on the thing so that you get an example of what it is. I always leave the last two ones just in case, because 2 is not too many. Cool. Alrighty. So I'm gonna get rid of this cutlery basket, and I'm gonna have a look at this basket TMP. Honestly, I'm liking it. Not too bad. As long as I don't look at the bottom. Yeah, this isn't too bad. That's good. Okay, so now what I need to do is look online. First off, I'm going to go to the workshop, see if there's any picnic. Fucking picnic. There's a grill available. Oh, there's them's fighting herds. Very nice. So I'm gonna go with blanket. There's a basket. There's a basket that Fluttershy's laying in. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. No, okay. So obviously, I'm not gonna get a picnic basket off of the okay, so I'm gonna have to go picnic blanket SFM model. Piece of cloth. Oh, okay. Cloth. Piece of cloth. Oh, I already have it. Cool. So let me model cloth. Maybe if I spell it right, I'll get it. No, not that one. What's it called, damn it? Oh, actually, if I go here, I'll be able to find it. Pippin. Oh, there it is. I got it. You. Do you ever fear your power as a content creator? No.
I crave it.
I crave the power as a content creator. I can create anything. Anything at all. And there's nothing more relieving to me as to not have to rely on creating content for an income. That is the true test, I suppose, or the true setback, I suppose, as a content creator, to have to rely on creating content to make a living. Because relying on creating a content in order to make a living means that you have to make content instead of making the content that you want to make. You have to make content that would make you the most money, as opposed to making the content you want to make. What does the picnic blanket they have look like? Pear butter bright mac picnic. Okay, it is the red and white one. Alright. I don't know why they added bigger and smaller flexes, because you just use the size scale to change it, but that's okay. I mean, more for trying, that's fine. Yeah, terrifying answer. Have a wonderful day. But that's one of the things that really appeal to me about things like programming as well. It's the moment that you realize that anything that uses electricity to think, you can have control over. So this computer that's in front of me, I can control it. I can make it do whatever I want it to. And that sort of power trip is what you get when you start learning how to program. And it only really happens when you start learning how to program. That power trip you get, the what else can I do sort of thing. Because the longer that you program, the more you realize, it's really complicated to do the things I want to do. I could also do this. Yeah, well, maybe I just might do it. So you get that moment. It's like, yeah, I can do anything I want to, but it takes a lot of time, and it's, I don't know, I don't care. Someone's already done it already, it's alright. But that's one of that, I think, going all the way back to the very first comment posted on this stream here, that Nosfire said, Quillo is so cool, I want to be talented like them. And I had said at the very start, if you genuinely go to 0:00 of this stream, the first few seconds I said, talent is not something that you should base your wants to do art for. It's just it's skill is all of the things that you need to worry about, the things you build on. What the conception of what talent actually should be, or something like that, is the ability to think in your head something that you want to create, and that's it. That's it. Your skill that you build is the method by which you choose in order to create the thing that's in your head. Getting inspiration down on paper is the hardest bit of being an artist. And working through the steps in order to make the things that you need to do in order to make the things that you're inspired to make is the actual skill that goes into creating art. And that is the power trip that you have once you start being an artist, and once you start creating more and more things and getting more and more skilled in your chosen artistic field. You realize you can create anything. Anything that you conceive of, anything, you can create it. The only thing that you have to worry about is that the more skilled you get in your artistic field, the more problems you can find in your own art, the longer it takes for you to create the things that you want to create. So whilst, yes, you can theoretically create anything, the more things that you have created means the longer it takes for you to create your new thing. Because, you get more and more skilled, you start learning more and more things, and you start taking more and more time on your project. So yeah, that's something that you find. I wish I could go back to the skill level, or the tolerance level that I had when I was first starting out in things, because I'd be able to make animations a lot quicker now. I had initially set up my Patreon to be a monthly thing, because I thought, yeah, I can make an animation in 2 weeks, so I don't want to overcharge my patrons, so I'm going to have them do it every month instead, and I'll just keep making animations every like 1 or 2 weeks. And then it started making me take more and more months to create an animation. I'm like, this isn't sustainable anymore, because now they're paying for things they're not getting anymore. So I'm like, well, fuck. So now I've changed it to per mistake as opposed to per month, so that, you know, they actually pay for when I create an animation. So yeah. You know, you might be able to. You could probably set up your microphone to be able to be an input device to play Doom. You probably wouldn't be able to actually play Doom itself, because in order to actually play Doom on something, you need to have a few things. You need to have an input system, which the microphone is, so you would be able to use the microphone as a controller. I mean, think of it this way. All you need to do is write a script that can translate, like, different either frequencies or loudness of things to be different button inputs, and then you can control yourself by going like, ooh. Like, you've got your 4 things where it's like, ooh, and then you'd be like, go forward, ooh, 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 and then, you know, go backwards, ooh, ooh, turn left, ooh, or something like that. I don't know. And then shoot could be, or something like that, just like a thing, and then, you know, your character will do shit. So you could feasibly control Doom using a microphone. You can't play all of Doom on a microphone, but the reason why you can, I know, I love it too. I probably would be crazy enough to do it, but I don't think so, because I'm not the type of content creator to do that sort of thing. But it would be fun. But it might not be. But it could be fun. But otherwise, the thing about having something run Doom is that you need to have the input device and an output device and a calculator device. So something that can calculate things. So you give it an input and it produces an output. That's the minimum things that you need in order to play Doom on something. So that's why you've got people rolling around with calculators that can play Doom, because, you know, or it can play something that is similar to Doom. Probably not the actual Doom program itself, but something similar to it. So people can play Doom on their TI-85 whatever Texas calculators, because it has inputs, which are the buttons. It's got a calculation device, which is the calculator itself, and then it has the output, which is the screen. And there you go. That's the minimum requirements in order to play Doom on anything. You can go into your Tesla and program that shit to play Doom if you wanted to. Like, there's nothing stopping you from grabbing a Tesla, ripping out all the motors and shit, and just having it read your inputs and read the steering inputs and the brake and accelerator pedal and whatnot to play a racing game on the fucking terminal of a Tesla. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You could do that. You could rip out all the computer technology and redo it so that you can just use that to play fucking racing games if you want to. You could make your Tesla play Doom if you wanted to. Like, that's the type of power trip that you can have when you learn how to program. It's so good. Anyway. So yeah. That is the type of things that you have. So that's explaining my thoughts on the power trip of being a content creator, and the powers of being a content creator, and the powers of being a programmer is kind of intertwined. Playing Doom by driving into oncoming traffic? How hard you hit something is how much you fire. God damn. Oh wait, I need to destroy this cacodemon. I need to switch to my I don't know, the BFG by swerving to the right, and then I need to shoot by hitting this pedestrian. Okay, so I don't think I have a picnic blanket texture. Okay, it looks like I'm just gonna have to create one. Fuck it. So let's have a look at the pear butter Big Mac picnic. Oh, that's a cute one. So it's just the.
Oh, well, look at that. There's an SFM one on Derpy Boo of
Ooh, maybe this is Blender actually. Oh, it looks like Blender. Yeah, it is Blender. That's Blender. Never mind. So they modeled their own. They modeled their own picnic blanket. Gross, ew, icky. How dare they? So I think I'm gonna go with the more simplistic style that they have there. So what I need to do is open up GIMP. Which is called GNU Image Manipulation Program. GIMP. I guarantee you they specifically made it say that. A new one, which I think I'm just gonna make it 600 by 600. Easy. So now I'm just going to do the risky thing. Put all of my porn onto the one screen, and then whoop, open up screen capture so you can see what I am doing. Cool. So, cancel. I'm gonna go ahead and make a thing here. I'm gonna make that into red. I'm gonna... Oh no! This is why I don't like using... Alright, cool. That's not what I want to do, actually. Alright, so what I want to do... Actually, there might be a way I can force this to do the thing I want to do. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of things on the right here. Capsicum. Capsicum. Is it capsicum? What is it? What's going on? Wee! Yeah! That's my picnic blanket, by the way. I'm making my picnic blanket. X? Yeah! Capsicum. Yes! These are capsicums. Capsicum! It's a capsicum! Named after the spice that's the chemical which actually makes the spice in what you guys call peppers. The spice in chilies is capsaicin, and that's why we call bell peppers capsicums in Australia land, and I believe in UK land too. But anyway, so I need to make a Oh, dummy. Alright, cool, I could do it this way. So 100 to 200. Huh. It's alternating red and white. Sorry. If I make a new lane name, I'm going to call this red. I'm going to dingus. Cool. So I've made that one red. And then, oh, I know what okay. No. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. Yes, okay. I know what I can do. I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to rotate this layer. So if I grab all of this, I can then rotate by 90 degrees. Check that out. Okay. I rotate that by 90 degrees. And then I okay, that's good. Boop. I'm gonna delete that. Cool. So I'm going to rotate it, right? And then I'm gonna select all of this field. No, I'm gonna select. I'm gonna select all of the empty space of this one, and then I'm going to. This shouldn't be this complicated. Oh fuck! I'm gonna deselect. Baba booey. All right, cool. Yes, okay, cool. So now I'm going to make a new layer and call this Red 2, the return of the Red Venge. The return of the Red Venge. Cool. And I'm going to paint all of this one, right? So that's the first line. And then I'm going to select all of the points, right? Check this motherfucking shit out. All of the points, hang on. I'm going to select all of, oh, hang on. I'm going to select all of these, right? And then only select the points which also intersect with these ones, which means I need to remove the ones that are outside of this one. So, this one's being selected, so I need to deselect all of the white areas of this one. There we go. So now I've only got the selection in which these two layers combine, which if I then go up and say this is Red 3, I'm out of ideas. The rejuvenation of the red. I need more words that start with RE. I can't use revenge because I've already done it. The rejuvenation of the red refrigerator. Damn it, the fridge doesn't work. Planet. Fuck it. Planet. So now, if I then select the color in all these areas, ba boy, checkerboard. Excellent. So now I have a checkerboard. Alright, excellent. So now I can get rid of these two layers. Beep, beep. And now I can flatten the image. Pew! Cool. So now I have a red checkerboard. I'm going to save this as a PNG. Hopefully not in my porn folder. Where is it? Actually, I'm just going to save it to my desktop for now. Oh, actually, cancel. I need to export it. Export as. I'm going to save it as PNG. Yep, I'm going to call it Picnic Blanket Texture. Cool. Export. Export. Cool. And now I'm going to switch back to SFM. I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to discard these changes. Easy. I'm going to open up desktop. I'm just going to put this where it's supposed to be. I don't like showing people what I have in my folders because that's never a good thing. So I'm just going to pretend it's just filled with a copious amount of porn. Fuck, where did I save it? I think I saved it in documents. EPP. Right next to PP. Alright, cool. So, cloth. Where are you located? Show an element viewer, model. Here it is. Models, Pippin, cloth. So I need to go into SFM, workshop, materials, models, cloth. No, models, Pimpan, Pippan, pardon me. So I need to utilities, no, add override materials, there we go. So yeah, models, Pimpan, PIP, where the fuck is it? Oh, maybe it's just materials, Pimpan, P. There it is. Yes. So now I'm going to paste it here. Excellent. And now I'm going to open up VTF edit. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to import. I'm going to import picket blanket texture. Cool. I'm going to save in that folder. I'm going to call it cloth fabric 1. Or maybe in stripes. Squares. Actually, let me just see what the squares look like. No, okay, cool. So I'm going to import again, pick a blanket texture. Okay. And I'm going to save it as because the different ones have normal maps and things like that, so it's just like I'm gonna go to cloth. I'm gonna go to squares. Why not? Cloth, squares, picnic. There we go. Save. Cool. And now in SFM, I'm gonna open up cloth squares. I'm gonna add attribute string, base texture, cloth squares, picnic. Bing. There we go. And it's. I was really hoping it wouldn't do that. That's a shame. That's alright. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfectly square. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Jesus Christ. There we go. And now they are sitting on a cloth fabric. And I need to go to the bathroom. So, I will be right back. Okay. I've gotta fire up everything, to be honest, because I need to put my mask on and all that sort of stuff. So, beep, beep, and be right back. There you go. So what's happening in the chat for a sec before I leave? What is up, Black Flower, and what is up also Thomas's Things and Violet Cohen? I am not doing too bad. That is, too bad is relative because I've got COVID a couple days ago, which was not fun. It still isn't really all that fun since I can't go outside. It was sunshiny before and now it is miserable. Well, that's good. I'm inside. That's always nice to see. And yes, I like talking with chaotic energy because it's fun. Never understood why people saved porn to their computers. Well, why would people save porn on their computers? What happens if you don't always, you're not always going to have an internet connection on your computer? It's supposed to be a riff on, you're not always going to have a calculator on your kids. So, someone is making it, then it's, yeah, that makes sense as well. Unless someone is making the porn, then it makes sense to keep track of everything. That makes sense. And for reference, yeah, but also, if you're working on something that takes a long time to make, you'd want to save your reference somewhere. That's obvious, but well, yeah. So if you work, yeah, okay, reference makes sense. You gotta make it easy for comparisons. Gotta make sure it's up to OSHA standards. Absolutely. And hello, Dub Cotton. I'm about to disappear because I need to go to the bathroom. And I think I'm going to take some of this eye juice by gurgling on it because it stops me from coughing. This is not actually eye juice. This is sore throat gurgle. And I'm going to take some pain medication. I'm not in pain, but it's always good to take some pain meds. That's just what heroin is actually, to be honest. in here. And that's only because of the fact that I haven't got any ventilation in here. So it's very warm by proximity. The fact that I've just been inside this room for the past like 3 days. It's been ridiculous. I've either been in this room or in that bathroom for the past 3 days. Room prepared. OSHA is, I believe, one of the branches of the American government? Because, hang on. I don't know what it stands for, one sec. Occupational Safety and Health Administration. I don't know when I say health and safety, but that's the American workplace health and safety. Australia, what's it is it's just called Safe Works. No, there's OHSA, occupational. Safe Work Australia is just what we call it, I think. No, workplace health and safety is what Safe Work Australia works on, if that makes any sense. So WHS is what we do it, but yeah, occupational health and safety. Hello, Dub Cotton. How is it rockin' and or rolling? Whew. Okay, so I am going to just curve this to fit. Now, should I curve it to I feel like I shouldn't curve it to the hill because I probably want this glade to be pretty flat. So I might just get rid of this hill. Put some grass in. Going back to good old 2020, this must be 2018, 2019 Quillo scene build days. Using grassis. Let's have a look at grassis. That's grassis. I've got a couple more grass mons to use. Previously, this is the other one. The grass block. This is the one. So I'm going to use the grass. Oh, this is a really nice shot. Hits me in there. There we go. Look at that. So I'm going to use the grass block. Oopsie daisy. I'm going to use grass block for all around the all around the picnic blanket. I might actually just flip this picnic blanket around. So that's one of the things that you might find interesting about the way I think about how this works. I usually consider the camera as completely static when I'm setting up the scene, which means I move everything around the camera. So, since I'm just only now setting this up, I can move the characters to wherever I want them. I could have kept the picnic blanket rotation the same and just moved the grass around and moved the camera around to change the perspective of the picnic blanket. But instead what I did was I moved the picnic blanket and put the grass around the other side. If that makes any sense. So, whoopsie. Oh. There we go. Okay, so we've got the grass here, and I really, really do love this texture of the grass here. But I do also kind of want to have more of the... Well, no, if I have the... No, they're going to be in a glade, so I'm probably going to have to pull into them, which means that I might have to change where the skybox is, so... how it works. Oh, by the way, I learnt how bloody, like, useful and amazing ponchos are for not only staying warm in dry areas, but also just how, you know, normal they can be. Ready? So, this is a blanket, not necessarily a poncho specifically, but it doesn't have a head hole. But you don't need a head hole. Look, it's staying on my body. It doesn't have any... Hello. It doesn't have any, like, adhesives or clips on it. It's just literally a blanket. Like, there's nothing clipped on it. But if you put your head, I'm going to drape it over my right shoulder. I'm going to put it's long ways at the moment. I'm going to put this part up over my shoulder like this, and then put this other part over the top of the shoulder, and just by the nature of friction, it just stays on my body in pretty much everything that I do. Which this will normally take out one of your arms because it's underneath the thing. You've got your other arm because it's in the seam here. But then if you want to use this arm, all you have to do is grab the bottom of this and then put it up over your shoulder, and now you've got two arms to use. And look, it's just kind of staying there. This is of course because it's made with the high friction sort of material. It's a nice, I'm not exactly sure what Cadet made it with, but Cadet did make it for me, by the way. Thank you. But yeah, it's a very friction, and the material kind of sticks to itself a little bit, but it's not like adhesive. But I found that out, and I was like, I love this. So this has been my main like source of doing stuff when it's been cold, when just around the house. And it's nice and fun. But yeah, so ponchos, very useful. And then to get more use but less cold, you just flick it up over here. And then you've got two hands, and you've also got a nice little cloak to keep yourself warm, keep your back warm. Anyway, I guess I'm just gonna sit down again. Yeah. All right. Yes. Nice and fun.
Hello, I'm really short.
Hi. Alright. So. There. Okay. That seems about right. Yeah. That seems about right for the size of their little glade. So now I'm going to grab, yep, that one. So one thing that I don't do, which I probably should, is like completely storyboard exactly how I want my animations to look. The reason why you should do that is because of the fact that you're able to more codify, or at least determine exactly what's going to be visible and not visible, which can determine how you build your scene. The reason why I don't do that though is because not only do I not have access to the skill required to properly storyboard what I want to do, that is, I don't have the proper method for getting what is in my brain onto a piece of paper in the form of a storyboard, but also the fact that I like keeping my things as like natural as possible, which includes the ability to, which unfortunately, like, natural as possible means I can do whatever I want with my shots when I create the full scene. But it also means that it takes a lot longer to create the surroundings. But I can then, so it takes a lot longer to create my surroundings because I have to create the entire scene. But it allows me to move my camera to whatever shots that I want to make at the moment, whatever I think feels better as I'm making it, when I want to. So I can choose whatever shots I want, and the final thing, it'll be the final product. So I don't build my scene to accommodate it and stuff. But yeah, so there you go. Cool. So, what I might do now is just increase the size of this glade. Oops. What? There we go. This way, and that way. Oh, one of the other things that I have done to increase the performance of SFM, which I would recommend you do as well. So, if you want to render at 4K, you need to set SFM's resolution to 4K. But that means that SFM is rendering everything you're doing in 4K in order to put it on your screen, which makes the process a lot slower, and it takes a lot longer to render one single little, like moving the camera here, takes a lot longer to render in your shot. So what I've done, if I just swap back to my screen, make sure there's no porn up on my background. Beep, boop, beep. Cool. So if I just swap back to my desktop screen over here, and again, just making sure there's no porn on my desktop. Cool. So if you have a look at the desktop here, you see I've got two different shortcuts for SFM. One of them 720p, which just opens SFM without anything. Oh, actually, it opens it up as this with SFM resolution 720, width 1280 by 720. But actually, I've just got rid of all of my if I just open up Steam again, go to my library, source filmmaker properties. So you see I've got rid of all my launch options. Usually you have here SFM, resolution, and I've gotten rid of all my launch options, and I've actually put that into a shortcut. So this shortcut here, which is the 4K version, opens up SFM, which, you know, it launches Steam with the first, I can't remember what it's called, system argument. The first argument being to launch an app, which is app number 1840. To get this, all you have to do is grab another Steam link and open it. Oh, actually, no, that's incorrect. So that's the Steam ID. But this is basically what it's doing. Open it that way, and then you put in your launch arguments in the shortcut itself. And then when you open up Steam the second time using this link, using this shortcut instead of that shortcut, you'll open it up in 4K and you'll be able to render in 4K without having to bear with, you know, the whole slowdowns associated with running SFM at a high resolution, without also having to then swap and get rid of things all the time as you're opening and closing SFM. When it crashes, when it will crash, so just saving real quick. So yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, so there you go. Yes, that's synthwave wallpaper. This one, I absolutely adore it. Still adore it. It's been like my wallpaper for the last 3-4 years or something. But yeah, that's something that Cadet made, and she went through like this really big synthwave phase when one of the conventions that she was hired to do the art for, or do some of the art for, most of it. I can't remember which one for the life of me though. but it had a very synthwavy aspect to it, and yeah, no, she made a whole bunch of art associated with it, and it just looked really cool. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. See, that's my screen, that's my background now. Not sure when I'm going to change it, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I will, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah. So, if we... Hang on, I gotta figure out what this... Yeah, convention art. HarmonyCon. There we go. It was HarmonyCon. So yes, that was the Kelly Sheridan. I think it was actually just the. Yeah, HarmonyCon. That's the one. One of the ones that she did for Kelly Sheridan and whatnot. And it was vaporwave in aesthetic. Or HarmonyCon 2020. Yeah, and she did the art for most of that stuff, so it just looks so good. God damn it. But yes. No. That's a straight no from me there, gamer dude. That is a straight no. Yeah, that's a straight no. I mean, I don't judge you. It's just on my thing, you know. Okay, trees. I'm gonna put all the grass together. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna have to grab these grasses here. Cool. Grab these grasses and move it to the left. Yeah, well, one of the big reasons why there's so much of those types of animations, like the really strange, I don't know, I like describing without describing it too much, like the really strange fringe animations when it comes to those sorts of things. The reason why SFM is so it's so common to see that with creators and things, and specifically, like, there's a lot of low quality ones of those. The reason why that's the case is because SFM has such a very small barrier of entry to get started in SFM, and that's the reason why there's so much, like, low quality animations of those specific, like, fringe groups and whatnot. Because, again, going a couple conversations back about, like, the creator's power trip, the content creator's power trip, where you start realizing that anything that you think of you can create. Since SFM has such a low barrier of entry, and there's not a lot of the material that caters specifically towards those fringe fetish groups, you combine those two, you have people that are like, I can create this on SFM. They start using SFM to create those types of things, which is why there's a lot of material out there which is low quality and based around those specific fringe fetish sort of environments. I don't really like talking about this because it's icky, but but yes, you'll find a lot of that content out there, and you'll be hailed by it, and it's always going to be not the highest quality because of the fact that it's only typically people that are starting out making SFM. They make those animations through SFM because it has such a low barrier of entry, so many tutorials and models available for it, and people just make those sorts of things. So I could imagine that there's a lot of very good animators out there now who started making those types of animations back when they were younger and less experienced. And I say younger, but I mean like ages like 18 when they started, like, hey, I can make this sort of shit now. When they were less experienced, they were making these sorts of things, but that's how they got started because they wanted to, and they were like, hey, I can make anything I want to, including this sort of stuff. But yeah, the type of people that are making those sorts of content back then, now would probably be making pretty damn good content. But it's just, yeah, that's the type of mindset that people have when they start out and whatnot. So yes, that's why you have a lot of these fringe things that are usually lower quality. That'll end up being people's gateway drugs into making animations that are higher quality, I suppose. But yes, grass. Cool. So grass is gracias. So there's a little bit of overlap here, but what I'm specifically trying to get this gracias to do is to have the maybe what I need to do is bring the cloth up, and then what I want to do is grab the these ones, rotate it up and move it up. Cool. I'm then gonna grab all of the L's, grab it. And that's one of the other reasons why I don't really like talking about that sort of thing as well, is that like it's very bad to criticize someone's work when they're just starting out, it's just not, it's in very poor taste to criticize someone's artistic merits or artistic endeavors. And the reason why that's the case is because, one, you're probably criticizing a field you have no reason to criticize it, and two, they're making whatever they want to make, and they're making the thing specifically because they want to see it made. And like, you can't really fault someone for doing that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want anyone poo-pooing on my artistic endeavors, so I don't want to poo-poo on anyone else's artistic endeavors. So there you go. That's another reason. Should be fine, so I don't have to worry about that one. I might do that later if I want to, but yeah. Okay, trees. So the problem that I have, well, no, yeah. The problem that I have is that the specific glade that Brightmac and Pear Butter uses is in between apple trees and pear trees. And the reason why I can't do that exactly, the reason why I have a problem with it, is because I don't have any pear trees. And there are no pear models in SFM. Or at least I haven't looked yet, so let's have a look. So going to the workshop first, because there's less porn on the workshop. Pear. Let's have a look at pear. Oh, there is pears. Never mind. And there's that pear with the mouth in it, which is always fun. Okay. This is such a freaking hard, intense song, hey? I love this one. Oh, this is called Yokai Bleed, nice. Yeah, if you wanna like find the grungiest, glitchiest, most hardcore electro music you've ever heard, look up CRT Head. God damn, he's the best bloody musician I've found in this sort of field. So good. Go buy his entire discography. I paid, I think it was $20 to get all of his songs. You can pay $5 if you wanted to. I paid $20 because I wanted to pay $20. His SoundCloud literally allows you to buy all of his music that he's ever made for as much money as you want to give him. So definitely give him a look. Alright, so I'm gonna get an apple tree. So I've got this apple tree. There's also the apple trees that look like melted ice cream. These ones, specifically. They're not... I kind of like them, but at the same time I don't really... They make very good dead trees. Sure. These ones here, as apple trees. The other thing that I can do as well, which I kind of don't want to, is to angle the camera downwards so you only get the trunks of the trees. But if I angle the camera downwards, I won't be able to see my magazine skybox. So it's like... and I want to have at least somewhat visible. I'm really proud of that picture, to be honest. Really. There it is. I'm really proud of that picture. I really like that picture. Anyway. So... This is a teeny, tiny little tree. Look at that little tree. That's how big it is. Look at that little tree. God damn, this music. Oh. So, these trees do look very nice. The Jake trees. I'm pretty sure it's because some guy named Jake made them. Maybe. And the best part is, I can use different... Yeah, I'll just use these trees, they're fine. And they cover a lot of the skies. This fucking music's so good. God damn it. Alright. Oh, my bad. I'm supposed. Heh. So I'm gonna leave a gap here. Alright, I'm gonna turn down the music again. There we go. Yeah, so definitely have a look at CRT_Head if you want to find the grungiest bloody electric music you've ever done. done listened to. Yeah. What am I looking for? God damn, I got distracted. Heck. Sorry, the Wi-Fi said no. Big sad. But that's okay. You can also... I think you can also... CRT_Head. Have a look at his Bandcamp. I'm pretty sure you can listen to his discography on Bandcamp without having to buy them. Oh, my bad. So the digital discography is $12 US. I paid $20 US. My bad. So yeah. Yes. And that's one of the other hard things, I guess, at this point in time, because CRT Head is actually in Russia. Which obviously a contentious hot topic at this very current point in time, and he says he can't receive any money. That's a bit of a shame. So find a way to support him directly if you can, because I mean he's a fucking slamming good bloody music artist here. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but still, yeah. But yeah, his entire digital discography, $12.6 US on Bandcamp at the moment. I don't know how this is all being sorted with that, but yeah. Let's have a look at the playlist. There are also a lot of songs on his discography that are just straight up vibes, which I'm just opening up all of the songs at the moment. I'm going to play the absolute vibe of a song, which if I ever get into making actual games, I might have to use as like it's the save room or the hub world music. It's this one here that played briefly a few seconds ago. Oh, ACL confirmed. Hi, Quillo. Just proud to announce that I've selected your animation scientific peer review study in the last parade. Oh, nice! You featured at TrotCon 2022. Very cool. I would like to see if you can have a recording of the panel. I would like to see that one. When it's been done, you have my full permission to show it at the panel. I'm all good with that. That's all good. Ooh, that's gonna be cool. So if you do manage to, as ACLP Films, have a recording of the panel, I would love to see it. You know, to capture the voice version that's done and send me a link to it. And yeah, definitely. So, absolutely. Yes, you can use my animations I've done for that. Last Parade is not technically my animation. That's but I did work on it, of course. Work on it. I did a 6-second version. I would say that's more, what's his face? AJ's animation. But yeah, so make sure you let him know, because I think he'll have a kick out of it. But yeah, that's all good. Yeah. The thumbs up for me. Okay. So I have to make sure that there's no... Now, one other thing I really love doing with these tree models, now not these tree models specifically, let me just pull up. So not these tree models specifically, but there's another tree model which might just use cedar. Yes, hello, the black forest trees. Here we go. So if I open up this one, it doesn't look the best because, and it certainly doesn't fit into this sort of aesthetic. But if I, also I'm just going to turn that. So yeah, that was Wave Fever. It's one of my favorite tracks from CRT Head, but yeah. Okay, so look at that. The shadows are so good. I might use a different forestry though. Oh yeah, this one here. So this one has a lot of leaves, which cast a lot of shadows. And if I bring this up in the way... Oh, it doesn't actually cast any shadows. That is humorous. Okay, try that again. Scrolling past all the rocks. Maybe this one would work. So let me just black forest. Nah. Oh, Rosier would work. But yes, I can grab this, I can move it up towards the sun, and then I can add scale control to transforms. There we go. We've got your leaf shadows now. Don't even need to use a gobo texture or anything like that. It's just straight up leaves. And now you've got the sun rays, which I really, really enjoy. So yeah, that's the other thing, which is fun. Yeah, TrotCon is a convention. Don't know where it's hosted though. TrotCon is in Columbus, Ohio. Happening in 2022 in the Crown Plaza, July 15 to July 17. Catch 1.5 of my animations there. Yeah. I might actually increase the size of this massively, or decrease it. Yeah, that should be fine. And then I'm going to copy, paste, move it this way, and move it down, because this is the top of the tree. Very cool. All right, so that's my light textures there. See, I like that. The use of an and is interesting in the English language. I'm trying to think of a fun spin to that. An interesting use of a few words is found with an and. There's this other sentence that English makes sound weird. It's like one of those, James while John had a better effect on the teacher. This is another one of those sentences I made up, actually. I didn't make up the previous one. The James while John had a better effect on the teacher. It's not one that I made up, but I made up. Here we go. It's either or either, or either or. Oh, actually, I should change that. Okay, it's either or either, or, and either or. And I'll write it down for you for what I said there. It's either or, and either or. Now either just looks weird to me. Okay, so, right on. Oh, hang on. I don't think I actually have an apple model. I should put little apple blooms in the tree then. I've got Minecraft apples. Oh, I could use those apples. I could. The sniper apples. I could use those apples in the tree. I've also got... that apple's too textured. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's the end. Okay. Oh, this one might work. Yeah, this will work. Cool. So just put a bunch of fucking apples in the tree. Now, one thing you might not know about me is that I've eaten apples before. Slight confusion. Visible confusion. So what I'm going to do... I don't think they'd be that high on the tree, but that's okay. And I think if I just make the apples bigger, it might actually, oops, make it a little bit more bearable. Actually, it will really depend on how much of the tree is visible. So I'm not going to worry about putting apples and pears in the trees just yet. But what I might do is I might grab the camera and sort of zoom out a bit. Ooh. Ooh, hell yeah. Yeah, okay. So this tree I'm going to bring into the side a bit. I love it. I love it. I love it. Cool. One of the things I just thought of, which I can't really do in SFM, could probably do it in Blender, but not in SFM easily, is like make the trees look like a heart, like it makes the outline of a heart. Because that's one of the cheesy things that you do when you're making a scene like this. But I can't easily do that in SFM because of the fact that you can't make your own models in SFM, and you can't edit models in SFM. You can't scale or change the things, like you can't warp them or anything like that natively in SFM unless the model's specifically built to do that. So yes, so that's one of the other things that I love about this music is the cyberpunk vibe of it, so it's really fun. Ooh, I'm gonna put a guitar down. Not that one. Maybe, might actually use that one. No, not that one. Yeah, this one's fine. Oh. The hell? No, not that one. Yeah. A guitar? For me? I don't even know how to play. Quiet, you. I love that. Make it bigger so ponies can actually hold it. Cool. Another little piece of set dressing there. Cool. Oh, probably not levitating as well. That's cool. Oh, absolutely. I was just about to say, yeah, Cyberpunk is indeed a game with many flaws, but the soundtrack is phenomenal. And the other thing as well, one thing that I'd said about one thing that I had said consistently about Cyberpunk, and about, you know, playing Cyberpunk and all the flaws that it has and all that sort of junk. Why are you doing that? Oh, okay. Oh, that's, I know why. Yeah, sorry. One thing that I had said about Cyberpunk, playing Cyberpunk and like all that sort of stuff, if you don't join the bandwagon, if you don't join the hype beast, the hype bandwagon, you won't get disappointed when you start playing, because that is the only way, like that's the only result of joining a hype bandwagon, is getting disappointed. Because you're never going to find a game that exactly perfectly matches up with how you expect it to be. So if you don't join the hype bandwagon, if you avoid everything until it launches and play the game yourself if you want to play it, and you make your own mind about it, then you won't be disappointed when you play it. And it's not necessarily a time where you don't expect anything and so you don't get disappointed. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you don't have to have massive, unreasonable expectations for a piece of art that exists in a medium which is incredibly difficult to make. And that is indeed video games. And people have this conception where they think about something and they're like, oh, maybe you'll be able to do this. One person says, maybe you'll be able to do this. Someone else says, like, they're going to be able to let you do this. It'd be cool if they'd let you do this. And then another person says, oh, they're going to be able to let you do this. And then everyone says, hey, this would be really cool. They're going to let us do this. And some of that hype is not even generated from the main companies. I'm pretty sure it may have been in the marketing and things and the PR relations from how Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red were developing it. But again, I avoided all of that. And the product that I played when I played Cyberpunk was really fun for what it was. And I really enjoyed my time with it. And one of the contributing factors to that was the fact that I just kind of didn't really join the hype beast at all. And what I played was really fun. And I was not disappointed. I think the thing that, and the fact that I was not disappointed, wasn't looking out for the features that weren't even in the game to begin with, wasn't even planned to be in the game to begin with. Because I wasn't looking out for those features, I could look out for what was there. And what was there was phenomenal soundtrack, brilliant gun gameplay. I really love how the guns felt to shoot. That was really fun. I really love the different types of guns, although I didn't really get much of a aspect out of like the power weapons one, their ricochet and things like that. The skill tree was also a little bit hit and miss, but that's fine. And I also really phenomenally enjoyed the way that Cyberpunk told its stories. It's one of those games where it avoids the Skyrim cliche of, I'm part of this faction. Who the hell are you? You're this new guy. Hey, new guy, can you help us out with this really top secret mission that only people in this faction can help with? Great, you're in this faction now. There's other missions that we need you to do. Cool, can you just run our faction now? That doesn't happen in real life. In Cyberpunk, avoiding most spoilers, the path that I chose had me join a faction, which was a separate, different type of faction of the character that I already was playing with. Or like it matched the backstory of the character that I was playing with. A different faction that matched a backstory of the character I was playing with. So I already had a kind of foot in the door sort of moment with it. But as I continued playing with this faction, I was assisting and integrating with someone who was actually further in the faction because they were actually part of it to begin with. They got out and you go back in. And you help them go back in and you help them do missions and things. And then when the leader of that faction ends up getting into a situation in which you need to help the person that you're with help that other person in the faction, and then the person that you are helping actually assists and becomes kind of like the co-leader of the original leader of that faction. And so you, whilst you're kind of like an honorary member of that faction, aren't actually a part of that faction, but you assist the person that you're with become co-owner of that faction. That is a much more realistic way of having this sort of faction relationship develop. And so you as the main character don't become the sovereign leader of all of these different types of factors and things like that. No, you were just some dude rolling around. And it just so happens that your assistance allowed allowed the character that you were assisting to become one of the leaders of that faction, which is really great. And yeah. I can see that, like, vicious various powers do allow me to rule their faction after I help them take out the trash for a few hours. Yeah, that's essentially what Skyrim depicts factions as. Yeah. Yeah, and the other part that I love, which again, avoiding spoilers, is that Cyberpunk has stories develop without you. There's this one mission where a pivotal character that you have, where one of your characters that you interact with a lot, and you develop an attachment with, ends up dying, and then you have to attend their funeral. I don't think I've ever attended the funeral of a side character in any other RPG I've ever played, but yes, you attend a funeral of one of your characters that you interact with a lot. Or you could miss that funeral. You could straight up get distracted with other shit and the funeral just will happen without you. And then you won't get to be able to do it, and the person calls you up and say, hey, you missed the funeral, but that's okay, he wanted you to have some things, so there you go. You could just miss it! You could straight up just miss the funeral. There you go! Because you get distracted by doing Skyrim shit, and then the world progresses without you. And there are also, one of the other biggest things as well, is that there is actually another character, and this is another one of those big, unfortunate circumstances, another realistic interpretation of it. There's another character that actually, again, this is probably gonna have to go into like trigger warning territory and shit like that. But there's another character who actually commits suicide in the game, and the person just does it without you. There's no like cinematic. Oh dear. Sorry, yeah. There's no cinematic. There's no like big notification or anything. That you don't see them do it. You don't help them do it. You don't do anything like that. They just do it off screen. And their friend calls you to say, "Fuck, they've just yeah," and they're the same sort of similar way. They've just killed themselves, and then you have to deal with that fact, and then you end up you do end up assisting the friend to get revenge on the people that drove the other person to do that act. Yeah, and that was sort of just because I was just in the city somewhere, and I just got a call saying, "Hey, this person that you helped before is now dead." And you're just like, fuck, damn it. Fuck, I gotta get revenge. So yeah, again, trying not to spoil and trying to avoid all that sort of shit as much as I can, but Cyberpunk has one of the best ways of telling the stories that it has I've ever played in video games. And the reason why I was able to look at that and say, hey, no, this is actually really cool, was because I completely avoided all of the hype beast that was surrounding Cyberpunk. I had no expectations going into that game, and I ended up having a brilliant time with it. I really enjoyed myself. Yes, I did encounter a lot of bugs, but one of the big important things that you have to realize from the objective game development sort of side of it is that open world games are massive. They are huge. Cyberpunk as well is a huge game. Like, it's difficult to comprehend just how big Cyberpunk is and the amount of detail, the amount of work and effort that has to go into it. Now you have to consider it from the game maker's perspective. You have this overarching view of everything. Everything is under your command. You can do anything you want, put anything anywhere. You can do anything. You've got the view of the entire source code of the game, which means that all of the little tiny little bugs that are around the place are difficult to spot. You can do the big things, like if there's a building that is like that, you're like, that's not meant to be like that, and so you reprogram it to sit like that. That's good. That's a massive building though. If you've got, the buildings here and the windows are over here, then you can, okay, well, no, put that back in. But when going down from the player's perspective, and seeing, say, I don't know, a water bottle that's slightly clipping into a wall, you don't see that from the game developer's point of view. You see that from the player's point of view because you're running around with like a microscope, looking at all the little things that you can see. You don't see everything else that the programmers, developers spent ages and ages working on, but you see everything walking around with a little microscope, a little magnifying glass. And what playtesting attempts to achieve in the development process is to run around with a little magnifying glass to find little bugs like that. But there's like maybe 10, 15, 20 people at maximum in a AAA playtesting environment, and those are like hired playtesters that are just hired there to play that game, to find bugs. And those are the people that already have, as well, experience with the game itself, so they can't find all those little things. But when the game releases, and you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people playing the game. You've got tens of thousands of little guys with magnifying glasses running around going, hey, there's a bug, hey, there's a bug, hey, there's a bug, hey, there's a bug, because you've got so many people playing it. And when those people are rolling around saying, this is going to be a perfect game, and then they always see these little things going like, ah, that's an issue, ah, that's an issue, ah, that's an issue. Oh my god, you didn't do any work on this game. No, they put as much work as you can put on these types of pieces of art, and they did what they could, essentially. And so when you enter a product, especially a game like Cyberpunk, with the expectation that not only is it going to be flawless, but there's going to be all of these features that they didn't even promise were going to be in it, you're going to be let down. And that's the only aspect that you can pull away from it. And that's why I completely avoided all of the positives and the negative sides of Cyberpunk. I played Cyberpunk because I wanted to. And I walked away from that game feeling like I played a damn good game. And that's all I'm asking for. And at the end of the day, that's all you can really realistically ask for anything, any game that you play, anything that you watch, anything that you do. Did you have fun while watching it and experiencing it? And if you did, mission accomplished. So yeah, avoid the hype beast. Don't join the hype train. Any game release that is anticipated, don't pre-order anything as well. Look at the game as it released, as it's supposed to be. Watch gameplay videos of it. Don't buy anything until you can see the gameplay videos. Determine internally in yourself if you want to play it, and then buy the game and enjoy it. But don't join any hype circles about it, because that only leads to disappointment. Yeah, so that's all that is. Alright. That was a nice little detour. Alright, so I'm going to grab... sorry. Sweet Apple Acres. Hill. Oh my. Hill curvy. Very curvy. Sweet Hill. Cloud Hill, that's fine. Yeah, or more accurately there, pointed towards a water bottle clipping into a wall, not knowing that previously the water bottle, when getting close to the player, would suddenly jump back into the frame, accelerating towards the player at high velocity and killing them instantly. So yeah, that's basically like, those are the type of things. Oh, it's probably exactly what you described there. I thought you meant shoot as in it grabs a gun and shoot the person. Because that requires development. But no, you're right. It would shoot from the wall and kill the person instantly, because if you have like a dynamic physics system, that's the type of thing that can happen. But yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Video games is pretty much the only medium. Like, you can't be bad at reading a book. You can't be bad at watching a movie. You can suck in video games. And you won't be able to experience the full effect of the video game if you're bad at it and you keep dying and you can't progress in the game. That's not the only reason why you'd watch someone play a game, though. I don't mean to imply that you're bad at video games, cadet, because I know I certainly am. But yeah, that's one of the reasons. You can suck at a video game. But the other reason why you might want to watch someone else play a video game is then you get their perspective when they are playing the game, and you're like, hey, that's a pretty good, interesting way of considering how to react to these sorts of stimuli. And you're like, or you just like the person and want to see what their aspect is of it. Let's go ahead and grab this plowed here. Yeah. A water bottle mimic who just pulls out a Glock. Yes. Haha, I could talk faster than you could type. Mwahaha. I'm just imagining that little water bottle with the Glock thing would make as a good Gmod animation too. Okay. Like a Gmod animation specifically, because you've got to get ragdolls in there. You get this plowed hill. So, one of the fun things I'm going to do with this sunlight is I'm going to copy it, paste it. I'm going to get rid of its shadows and its volumetrics to increase the rendering speed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold click and then move it to the right. Faster. And then increase. Yeah, there we go. Very good. That's so I can get the stuff in the background too. I realize though that this one can also be shadowed. Yeah. But this tree can't be in the way. Well, it can, but I just need to shrink it down. Make it seem further away. That's another hot tip from your favorite animator here. Making models smaller, make it seem like it's further away. Cool. Cool. Move this one. Oh, up. It's down. There we go. Hello. Alright. Remove this one. Yeah, there we go. I love having the shadows on the trees there. So I'm just gonna shrink this down a little bit. My bad. Oh, she'd plant the trees on the sunny side. But this is west, so typically she'd actually plant it on that side. No, this is happening in North America, so yeah, she would plant it on this side. So, this is what my brain is thinking of. It's sunset. The sun is currently on the left side of the screen, as you can see with the sun rays and the lighting. So therefore, west is to the left, so therefore the camera is facing the north. So therefore, if you have a mountain like this, and if you planted trees on, whoopsie daisy, you want to be able to plant trees on the side of the hill that will get the most sunlight. And I was thinking, okay, so the sun travels in the north sky, so you would only plant the trees on the south side of the mountain. And since this is west and since this is west and west is on the left side, we are facing currently. No, you only plant it on the north side of the tree if the sun is in the north sky. Sorry. Since it's west, east is right, north is ahead of us, which means the trees should be planted on the other side of the thing. But the sun only moves in the north side of the north sky in Australia because I'm on the south of the planet. Equestria is probably going to be assumed it's likely in the northern part of the planet because it's probably based off of America, which is where it's been developed. So well, actually, no, that's incorrect as well. The sun technically goes in a absolutely above the planet because Celestia has direct control over it, so she probably just puts it directly above the planet for ease of access. She wouldn't worry about which side of the fucking sky it's on. Unless she does, because she's that bloody particular about it. I don't feel like she would. Luna might, but Celestia might not. I don't know. Seems like something that's interesting. It really depends on how she decides to do seasons as well. That's fucking weird. Anyway, but yeah, so if Equestria is on the north side of the planet, and if the sun was reasonable or something like that, oh, that's another thing. Yeah, they don't actually say where the sun is. Yeah, but like that's another thing as well. But then Discord did have control of the sun at that point. When you can see the sun when. No, it just kind of goes up and down. I don't know. It does go like a clock in this show. Yeah. That was the one. That's the hi girls. That's that one where Twilight goes crazy, isn't it? Lesson 0. But I think okay. Okay, so I think stating the obvious, the Lesson 0 sun moving like an actual ticking clock was probably just artistic merit and probably what Twilight was thinking. I think the sun does actually move quite smoothly in the sky, but... That's state of the obvious. But, my bad. But in the end, I kind of just like the thing sitting here, so I'm just gonna put it there. That's fine. It'd be very interesting to yeah, could it? Oh, because thinking of it like that, but how did time exist then? Well, that was because Twilight didn't know how to control the sun, so she was like tracing it in the sky, sort of thing. It went from left to right in the sky. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know which way she was facing. But like she had direct control over it. She didn't know how to put it. But like. That also adds another interesting aspect to it, is if the sun doesn't have its own, if the planet itself doesn't have its own orbit, and Celestia can control, it doesn't have its own spin, but Celestia can control the sun, which it seems more reasonable to actually turn the planet instead of moving the sun. Despite that, it's probably actually what Celestia is doing. She could actually just be turning the Earth, the planet itself, and the planet could have been originally tidally locked with the sun, and it probably still is. And so she has just enough power to twist the planet slightly, and so she uses that to move it. Yeah, the people watching this animation aren't going to need to apply true current world logic to the sun in the scenario. No, so I was just about to say I could go through all of this discussion and just say I like the look of the trees, the way the shadows are on the trees when it's like this. You know, I like having the shadows of the tree visible, and that's what I want. And that's all that's required, really, in animation here. My bad. Background sunlight. But yeah, so the planet of Equestria could have originally been tidally locked to the sun, and so Celestia has just enough power to turn the planet in order to actually move the sun across the sky. Because actually, like, moving the sun itself would be a fuck ton of power. It'd be a lot easier to instead use that power to change the Earth. But then you go through the whole concept of Celestia as an avatar of the sun, not the Earth itself. But she could be. Celestia, like, Luna actually means moon, and so it's understandable that Luna would have enough power to actually physically move the moon in the sky. That's easy. So she's actually moving the celestial body of the moon in through the sky, because she has enough power to do that. But notice how I said that. Celestial body. Celestial body. The Earth itself is also a celestial body. So Celestia could just mean celestial, like, aspect of celestial body. And so she could just be moving the Earth itself. So she could just be moving the planet itself. And so that could be why it sort of feels like a ticking clock. And like the other aspect could be, and the reason why Twilight could so abhorrently trace the sun through the sky, is that she could be like locking. So another magic theory here. So imagine you're Celestia, you're standing on a thing. What you'd do is that you'd lock your current Earth position and rotation to the sun where it is, and you're pointing towards it. And then when moving it, what you're doing is you're actually turning the planet to match that direction. So instead of actually moving the sun where it is, you are locking yourself to the Earth, and then you are moving the Earth to match where it is. Well, actually what you would be doing is you'd be moving the Earth down this way, because if you'd imagine my thumb as you and the picture, my finger as where you're pointing, if you point your head upwards and you want the sun to go upwards, the Earth actually has to move down to match it. So she could be like attaching herself to the Earth and then kind of forcing the Earth to rotate so that the sun moves where she wants it to. Which is why when Twilight was trying to move it and she doesn't know how to, she's kind of like, and the Earth was kind of like all over the place. Yes, so the moon would be way easier to move, and that's why Luna has more jobs than Celestia relating to the moon and the sun. Yeah, so Celestia would move the planet, and Luna would move the moon. But then you add the aspect of Luna also controlling the stars. So the stars add an additional aspect of, what the fuck? What are the stars in Equestria? That's like, hang on a second. Because you can imagine. Oh, does she actually control the stars in the sky in Equestria? Or is that just one of the creation missions that they have? Because if she does actually have an aspect of control over the actual physical stars themselves in the sky, that would require a hell of a lot more power than moving the sun. Because you could imagine, I don't think she actually controls the stars. I think that's just fan theory and things like that. Did Nightmare Moon control the stars? Because Nightmare Moon was trapped on the moon, and the powers of the stars moved. But then how did she used the stars to help her escape? I don't know. Yes. Yeah. Bob sent me a picture of a space heater that I want. But yeah. More fan fiction is required here. We must construct additional fan theories. Anyway. So back to what I'm doing right here. So. Hill. Sweet Hill. Grab Hill 1. Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to grab the root transform of the hill one, bring it up, it's too tall, well, just make it smaller, cool. Cool. So, one of the other important things that I have to realize as well is that moving the camera at all is going to fuck up the perspective of this. So I should choose a camera angle and build a scene around that. Ooh, I do like that position here. Though the hills here shouldn't. I just had the most awful idea. So, okay. I want to try something real quick. If I just grab camera 2 here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to do a quick little pan from... I just want to do a quick little pan. I want to see if this works. So, the reason why it's a bad idea to use perspective tricks when you've got a mobile camera is because the actual physics or the realism of the implements that you've got will change based off will be more visible when you move the camera. That's just a normal thing. So when you've got a moving camera, you can see that that's actually a lot closer than it should be. And it feels like it's a lot closer too. So what I want to do, ready, is I am going to grab the transform of this camera and I'm going to attach it to all of these trees in the background. Pardon me. So all of these trees in the background. That one's fine. Small, big, small. Okay. So these ones here. It's not going to work though. So without some further thought about it, right? So these, I'm going to grab the small trees. Okay. I'm going to grab the small hill. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of these the transforms of these ones. I'm going to grab the transform of the camera. I'm going to lock the transform to transforms. And then I'm also not going to do the black hole gradient, it's fine. So the skybox isn't going to be weird. But basically, what you realize is that the further away a thing is, the less it moves when you do. So if you are, say you're on a train or on a bus and you're looking out the window, better on a train, easier. And you're just looking directly out the window ahead of you. The buildings and things in the distance aren't moving as fast as the train things, the grass and the bushes that are moving in front of you. That's moving as fast as you are. But the buildings in the distance are not moving as fast at all. So, the thing I want to see is when I've got this motion here, if I attach all of these things to that motion, and I grab all of these ones, and then I say, use the playhead slider. I'm just gonna save real quick. And I might just grab all of these guys, copy, yep, paste, put these in a different group. Cool. So I'm gonna grab all of these guys, and I'm going to attach it to the camera. So now, when the camera moves, I'm just gonna get rid of the background scene here. So now when the camera moves, the scene is moving exactly along with it, right? So there's no, that does not seem right at all, right? But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna grab, so see this Jake Tree 21 here? Actually, I'm gonna do it with Hill Kirby. So that one. So this Hill Kirby here. So you can see that there's an original place it used to be and the place it's going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the current scale it's at as a factor from 0 to 1, which is 25 or 25%. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock the, not Jake Tree, sorry. I'm going to unlock this Hill Kirby. I'm going to lock it to the original Hill Kirby, or the original position of Hill Kirby. And then I'm going to zero it by a factor of 25%. 75% actually. I'm going to go to 75% because it's 100 minus 75. So 75% of the motion of this hill will be replaced by the static motion of where this hill is in the background. Okay. And so now you're going to have a much slower movement of that scene. So if I get rid of the original hill, you can see it.
Okay, what does YES?
Look at that.
Yes.
What does
That looks a lot
EYES
further in the
spell?
distance.
Yes.
What does YES?
And then, if you want it to appear as if it's even further out in the distance, you can zero it further. And this is again zeroing it to match the original location of that. So if I zero it further, it looks like it's even
What does YES
further out in the
spell?
distance. And then I'm going to zero it even further, maybe even another half.
Okay, what
It's even
does
further out in the
YES
distance.
spell?
And if I zero it completely,
Okay, what does YES?
my bad, I'm doing it the other way. Ah! So
Again,
again, this is completely attached to the camera.
Yes.
This is too far away.
Yes.
It's the opposite of what I was saying. My bad. So yeah, if I zero it to 25%, it'll now
Okay,
appear
what does
really far out in the
YES spell?
distance.
Yes.
what does EYES spell?
Yes.
Yeah, it appears really far out in the
What
distance.
does YES spell?
Yes.
And when you want to bring it closer, you zero it a little bit further to static it a bit more.
Okay, what does YES
There you
spell?
go. Yeah, there you
What
are.
does EYES? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how you
What
achieve
does YES
the perspective
spell?
trick when
What does
the
it-
camera has motion. Very complicated process. Only do that at the very end when you know what you're when you know what you're gonna do with your camera and shit. So yeah. Forget I said anything. But no, yeah, that's how I imagine it's gonna work. Probably isn't gonna do the thing that you want it to. It definitely isn't gonna do the thing I want it to. But you could use that potentially in a way of making your scene in the background still move with the camera without having to actually physically build a massive scene build. Because building a massive scene build also means that you have to light it as well, and that can take a lot of computational power. So, cloud. Nice little detour there. I actually really enjoy this. I'm actually really enjoying this little scene build I'm making for these guys. What I might do, I'm gonna grab the grass. I'm gonna touch grass. I'm gonna grab this grass, this grass, this one, and this one. These grasses here. And I'm actually going to twist it downwards a little bit. So it has that sort of roll off. To make it, again, look like it goes a little bit further in the distance. Grab it with both hands. Just a handful of grass. You just got 2 handfuls of grass. Anyway, so I'm gonna have small hills in the background.
ES spell.
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes. What is happening?
What does YES?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to, yeah. So when the camera moves, I'm gonna have to use different sets, different shots of these cameras. I'm not gonna have any panning cameras though. Probably gonna, maybe. That'd be silly. That'd be very silly, Steve. No, again, that won't work. What I was thinking of doing was getting rid of all the foreground materials, right? If I just got rid of all the foreground, so the grass and both the apple family, apple and pear family. So if I just got the background, took a picture of that and made that the texture for the skybox, I'd be like, yeah, but no, it won't work because as soon as I move the camera to the side, the perspective will be broken. So, oh damn, that's right, my bad. I need to grab rig body, rig root. There we go. Copy. Paste it. This is the correct. Oh, rig pelvis. That's right. All right. All of these ones. Copy. Paste. There we go. Cool. This is the baked pear butter that I used to render out the lip sync without her ears flopping around. She's crazy now. Hello. And he has cancer. Alright. What was I just about to do? Oh yes, I wanted to grab the black hole gradient, and I'm just gonna. Damn it! I didn't want. Oh, hang on. Oh, my bad. Let me just unlock those ones. There we go. Look how beautiful that looks.
What do you do?
Okay, try again. What does EY
Still has cancer. One sec. There we go.
ES spell?
Yes.
What does
Just look at these clouds. They're so good looking. God damn.
Ease. AS. You're making me.
Oh, and of course, yeah. I have to do some. I am gonna have to use some interesting. I'm gonna have to prevent myself from using some shots, or just make sure that because of the skybox like phasing out of existence. Maybe. Or I could probably use the sky card instead of the skybox here. The sky card might not disappear when you're in a different direction. Anyway.
EYES. ES.
Say it again. What does EYES spell?
Yes.
What?
You're making me cry. What?
EYES.
EYE. Eyes.
Bye.
Hi.
Wait.
Eyes.
Okay. What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES
It does look really
spell?
nice from this
Yes.
perspective. Yeah, it's very cool.
What is happening?
And you can also see the clouds moving.
What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
What are you crying for?
What does it...
What are you doing?
Okay, try again. S spell.
Hang on. Yes, I'm gonna watch it again. No, I don't give a shit that you've probably already seen it and all that sort of junk. No, you are gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again. You're gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Let's fucking watch it again.
Okay, what does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes. What is happening?
What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Yes. What are you crying for?
What does it...
What are you doing?
Okay, try again. What does YES spell?
Yes.
What does EYES spell?
Ease. AS. You're making
I
me.
can't breathe. Okay.
EYES. Yes. What?
Say it again. What does EYES spell?
Yes. What? You're making me cry. What?
EYES.
EYE. Eyes.
Ah, it's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. Yeah, so I'm actually planning on maybe spelling it yes in the like in the title. Just call it E, like capital E lowercase e YES, yes. And that's like the precursor to Big Mac's yep. So I had that thought. I was like, maybe I could title it that. Because I can absolutely see Bright Mac just saying yes as like just as a thing that he says, and then Big Mac picks up on that and starts going yep. So Big Mac saying yep reminds him of his dad, who is going yes to make Pear Butter laugh. Yes. So that's my like bittersweet little headcanon there. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for today's stream as well. A nice little couple rants thrown in there, but I realized I've almost been streaming for 3 hours now, and I am sick and I need to recover. So, so yeah. But thank you so very much for joining me on this nice little COVID stream. If I'm feeling up to it tomorrow, I might do another stream at 10 a.m. my usual time. But we'll see about it. I mean, I'm not going to be fucking doing anything else. So we'll see about it. Yeah, we'll probably be doing some motions in there, or continuing doing the scene builder or something like that. I might fix up the lighting or something, just to do some more procrastination until actually having to work on the motions, which I'm not really looking forward to, but I'm also kind of looking forward to, because that's like the part that's like, okay, now it's an animation and it's good, people can watch it. But definitely 3 is sleep, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes, queen. Alright. What was I thinking of? Yeah, so definitely though, I'm going to be scheduling another stream next week in about 9 days at the usual time. So definitely have a look at that one. But have another look tomorrow at about 10 to see if I will be doing another stream. definitely join my...
I'm not going to pretend like I don't...
You know what that voice is? It's another shout out for you. But that's just... It's one of the cake making videos. I don't know why I opened up... Oh, that's so I can have a look at the calendar. Yeah, so... oh... Yes. Bob's asking if I wanted to grab some lunch. Let's have a look if anyone else is still in there. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Fucking hell, I'm brain dead. So, the next live stream is on the 20th my time, so probably the 19th yours, which is a Tuesday, which understandably if you can't make it because it's a weird day. But that's the day that I'm going to be setting it for. So, yeah. Yeah, so definitely join my Discord server if you haven't already. Ask for the stream notification if you want to be notified for when the next one's on. And definitely have a look at the link that I'm going to post at the end of this stream on my Discord server and to note when the next stream is going to be on. Because I say 10 o'clock on the 20th, but that's 10 o'clock on the 20th on my time, which is GMT plus 10. So if you're in America, you're probably hovering around the GMT minus 16, which means you're going to be 26 hours behind me, which means you're going to be a full day minus about 4 or so hours, which means if I start at, oh yeah, if I start at 10 a.m., that means it's 6 a.m. for you. That's a very early time for you guys to be watching a stream. So I might actually just do it. I might actually just do it on at 12 every weekend then. Yeah, so I might just change it to 12 then. That's okay, but still, yeah, it'll change it. YouTube will make it your time. So definitely have a look at the link, the Discord link in description. Here it is. It's coming. All right. Definitely have a look at. Definitely join the Discord. Ask for the notification stream roll, and then you'll be able to get, when I notify it, you'll be able to get the link to the YouTube link, which will tell you what time I'll be streaming next. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this little live stream here. We had plenty of good rants. We had plenty of good job getting done, and yeah. So I will see you in the next one. I might see you tomorrow, but I might also not, and I might see you next time. So yeah. Tara, have a damn good day or night or whatever it is for you guys. If it's 10 a.m., it means it's 4 p.m. Cadet, it's hang on. Right now it's 11 p.m. for you, isn't it? You're in minus 16. Yeah, 11 p.m. So that means starting the stream at 12 would put it at 8 p.m. So starting the stream at 10 would put it at 6 p.m. Not 6 a.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. I'm in GMT plus 10. You're in GMT minus 16. Mathematics is weird. Time zones are weird. My brain is off. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy your time and have a good one and all of that jazz. Which means you're probably in California, Mask Creator. You're probably in California. I'm gonna boom. There we go. There's a big old bet. Bet you're in California. Oh, GMT minus 7. Okay, not 17. I thought it was 17. So I'm GMT plus 10. I'm GMT plus 10, definitely, because that's what it is. I grew up on that one. And hang on. We could do all of this deliberation and check, but American CST to GMT. What is CST in GMT? is -6. Yeah, you're in -6. I'm in +10. That's right. I thought you were in California. But yeah. I'm +10. You're -6. And you're in the center of America. So that's -16 average for all of America. There we go. -16 is the... So -12, -4. That's right. I remember now. It's been a while since I've had to do time zone shit. But yeah, so that is all good. That is all good. I hope you enjoy your days, by the way. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully at around 8 p.m. for you guys, average. No, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. you guys, average. But yeah, definitely have a look at the Discord channel, all that sort of stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. I'll try and get some good sleep. That is if I'm feeling up to it. See you tomorrow if I'm feeling up to it. But I'll definitely see you next week.